Chapter 2. Pool of Tears.
It's no use crying, Alice told herself sharply. She took a deep breath and noticed for the first time a tiny piece of cake with the words "Eat me" on it. I might as well, said Alice. Poor Alice! She had no sooner finished the cake than she found herself shooting upwards until her head struck against the roof and she began to cry again. After a time, she heard the patter of little feet, and along trotted the White Rabbit. At the sight of her, he dropped his gloves and fan. To her dismay, the rabbit scurried away as fast as he could. Alice picked up the fan and white kid gloves and began fanning herself. "Dear, dear, how queer everything is today," she said aloud, having made up her mind to stop crying. "I don't feel me anymore. I wonder if I'm somebody else after all. And I'm tired of being all alone in this hall and sitting in my pool of tears. I really am." While she was talking, she glanced down at her hands and was surprised to find she had put on the rabbit's little white gloves. "I must be growing small again," she exclaimed. "It must be the fan," and she dropped it quickly. Then she began to wonder all over again if she really was Alice. "I'll try reciting some of my favourite verses just to see," she decided. "How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the water of the Nile on every golden scale. How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spread his claws, and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws." Alice tried saying the verses sitting down, and then she tried again, standing up, though it didn't seem to make much difference. "I'm sure those are not the right words," she said, and her eyes filled with tears. As she said this, her foot slipped, and in the moment, she had fallen into her own pool of tears. Just then, she heard something splashing about, and there was a mouse that had slipped into the water, just like herself, coming towards her. "Should I try speaking to this mouse?" Alice asked herself. "I'll try." The mouse looked at her inquisitively and seemed to wink one of those little eyes, but it said nothing. So she began, "Oh, mouse, do you know the way out of this pool?" When the mouse stayed silent, Alice decided to try again. "Perhaps it is a French mouse after all," she thought. So she began, "Où est mes chats?" which was all she could say in French. The mouse gave a sudden leap out of the water and seemed to quiver all over with fright. "It must be a French mouse," Alice told herself, watching it swim away at great speed. That's how it knew chat meant cat. Oh dear. The pool was now getting very crowded with all the birds and animals that had fallen into it. There was a duck and a dodo, a lory and an eaglet, and several other curious creatures. "I do think we should all make for the shore," Alice cried. "I'll lead the way, and all of you follow me."